I hope we're live now. Yes, we are. All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning and happy Mother's Day.
Good morning.
We are coming to you from outside the exciting. I hope we're live now. Yes, we are. All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning and happy Mother's Day. Oh, my goodness. It wants to continue to echo. We're coming to you from outside the elegant Egyptian temple that we normally come from. But we're really excited to be here this morning with you to celebrate Mother's Day, and just wanted to share a little bit about the power of prayer. When we're struggling with things that are hard for us, it's hard to find our way through. Our minds and our emotions are not in a powerful creative space to find our way through. And prayer, just even the scientific elements of prayer, the ways that our minds work when we are in a place of humility, when we're in a place of being open in our mental capacity to something greater than what we are capable of creating for ourselves. We allow in something greater than ourselves to show us the way, even if it's just our highest self. And so it's really powerful to step into that place of humility and openness to ask for help. And when we bring our prayers to other people, like-hearted people who care about the things that are weighing heavy on our hearts and they wish us well, it becomes a collective,
Hmm.
and it becomes much more powerful than the sum of our individual parts. So whether you're joining us live or whether you tune in later, know that across time and space, we're holding space for you, and this space is here for you to be held and for you to support others who bring their prayers. So we invite you to um, type in any names or places or circumstances that you would like to have others who wish you well to send their prayers to support what you're praying for, and you can do the same for others. So we invite you to type into the comments what you would like to have support with. Anything that you'd like to share?
Um, a couple things, but I won't maybe ramble too long. But number one, I just want to echo what Amanda said a moment ago of just having like-minded people that are praying for you, or sending healing or good intentions to a specific person, a particular situation. Not to be crass, but at minimum, it can't hurt. Um, at maximum, I just think as she talked about this collective, I'll just confess in my own journey that I would say my understanding of prayer and my experience around prayer is continuing to expand and grow and develop. And I think there's a lot of mystery involved with prayer, and in the sense that um, I don't always know exactly where my prayers are landing. And sometimes prayer can be a journey. I've often taught in regards to prayer that sometimes our prayers are just not answered in the way that we maybe would have anticipated or desired. But I am so grateful for the opportunity to pray. And one of the things at the core of for Amanda and myself and at the church here is that it is saturated in prayer. That is for sure.
And the good news is, we can't expect our prayers to be answered the way that we might expect, because we've been doing all the things that make sense to us to find solutions to the things that are troubling us. And when we invite in something that's greater than us, that wishes us well, it's going to be something unexpected. So, yeah, at the very least, it creates a sense of peace and openness to something more creative, more powerful than what we've been able to do for ourselves. And again, as the collective becomes a part of it, it becomes more powerful. So we invite you to use this time to drop what's been troubling you and to know that there is support. I really want to celebrate the mothers today. Very special day to be here. So welcome to everyone, especially the mothers. So I'm going to invite you to just drop into a place of sacredness. Claim the space that you're in right now, whether you're in an Egyptian temple, whether you're at an altar, whether you're just taking time out of your day to tune into this, to really claim your body as sacred, to claim this time that we have together as sacred, and claim the space around you as sacred, meaning that we hold reverence for it and that we're treating our bodies, the space that we occupy, and the time that we have together with reverence. And as we do that, I invite you to tune into yourself first and to tune into any ways in which you've been struggling personally, to imagine that there are people and that there are beings beyond us that wish us well, that are surrounding us, that are here to hear the prayers of our heart, spoken or unspoken, typed into the comments or not, listening and here to provide comfort, healing, wisdom, insight. And imagine what it might be like if there was a council of wise people, a council of spirit guides, allies with you to mastermind your troubles and to provide support in ways that are unimaginable. And you can speak them out loud if that feels helpful. You can imagine with every exhale that you're sending out whatever has been weighing heavy on your heart in your own life, and that it's being received. And then tuning in to loved ones, maybe a story that you heard about a person or places in the world that are in strife, that you would love to offer support, but you just don't know how. And take a moment to imagine that that person, those people, those circumstances, those places are also being surrounded by loved ones, people who care about them in this third dimensional reality and beyond. That the help is there, the healing is there, the comfort is there. And imagine those people, those circumstances, those places receiving that help. Again, we don't know what it is. It may be an obstacle that needs to be worked through to create strength and experience. It may be simply relief, a sense of support, inner confidence. And take a moment to see all that you're praying for outside of yourself elevated, uplifted. And taking a moment to just tune in to feel if there are any messages, if there's any wisdom as we open our minds, open our hearts, open our lives to the help. What would that feel like? What would it look like? How might things be different? You might see that person with a smile. You might see in their countenance a sense of lightness, greater vitality. And now let's take a moment to just tune in to all the mothers, the single mothers, mothers who are struggling, mothers who are doing well, sending out gratitude and prayers for their best and highest. The mothers who are mothers to children that they didn't give birth to. Those who are providing a role of mother to communities that serve much greater than the immediate family. And imagining them feeling supported, acknowledged. And taking a moment to tune into your own relationship with your mother. Sometimes those relationships can be quite challenging. And imagine sending healing to that relationship. What might it feel like to have harmony, to have peace in that relationship? If you are a mother who is struggling in relationship with your child or your children, or that which you've given birth to as a project, or being of service, playing that mothering role to a community, to ask for help, strength, support. What might it feel like if those relationships, if those experiences were elevated? What would the answer to those prayers feel like? There's something very interesting that happens with gratitude when we allow ourselves to experience gratitude. It creates a sense of peace. And in a way, it accelerates our prayers. So when I'm praying for something, I like to give thanks as though the prayer is already on its way being answered or already answered altogether. It creates a sense of openness. It alleviates the stress. It helps to step outside of old program thoughts, old stuck patterns, and allows us to be available to a new way of being and doing in the world. So I invite you to tune into a place of gratitude, giving thanks as though these prayers that you've made for yourself, these prayers that you've made for others, these prayers that we've made for all the mothers, that those prayers are already answered. The resources, the wisdom, the healing is already showing up. And imagining that you're here to give thanks for the answer to those prayers. And if there are places inside that are contracted, that are having a hard time, to just breathe into those places. Even skepticism in the mind, to just breathe in and acknowledge where we're at. To breathe a sense of gratitude and love and peace and comfort to those parts of our own selves that may be resisting the shift in frequency, the healing of this moment of prayer together. Suspending the observations of the real world around us and imagining what might be possible with all of this help allows us to access source. Our imagination is infinite. We can continue to expand it in infinite ways. And because our imagination is infinite, it is the portal to source, God, goddess, creator, however that shows up for us. And when we imagine positive possibilities, positive outcomes to things that in our moment of struggle, we're experiencing suffering, that new imaginal possibility becomes as real as that sense of struggle. And so prayer provides this access to new possibility. Even if we were certain that there was nothing beyond ourselves here to help us, simply allowing our imagination to open up, to pretend that there's something greater than us that wishes us well, here to support us, here to hear and answer our prayers. We allow ourselves to become the answers to our prayers. And then again, as a collective, becomes much more powerful. So taking that moment to drop into the imaginal realm of gratitude for these prayers being answered. What would your heart feel like if all your prayers were answered? Where would your thoughts be focused if you were free of the struggle? How would your body feel if this healing had already arrived? Give yourself this moment to experience that relief. Welcome it in with the next few inhales. Welcome it into your body. Welcome it into your heart. Welcome it into your mind. And allow the sense of peace and comfort, hope, to create a new frequency inside. And allow this frequency that's inside of you to become an amplification in the world. As you step out into your day, that little moment that you took today to allow yourself to feel supported, loved, cared for, healed. Allow this moment of celebration of all that's been troubling you and the people that you love and the circumstances that you care about to be supported, taking that weight off your shoulders for a moment. Stepping into the day with that sense of peace and ease and joy. Just taking some last moments to allow yourself to really anchor in that sense. Again, even if it's just in the imagination, even if you're just allowing yourself to suspend the disbelief, knowing that you're doing a great deal of good for yourself and all those that you care about. And if there are any circumstances that you are stepping into today or throughout the week that you're worried about, to imagine that this moment of possibility, this moment of collective support, to land there in those times in the future, to come with you as we step out of this prayer together, to know that it can go with you. I want to send out gratitude to my mama, to all the mothers, to all the people that have shared with me what's heavy in their heart, and for all the things that I've been struggling with, to release them back to source, inviting in that help. And thank you for helping. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the comfort. Oh, Mitakoyasi. Is there anything you want to share as we come to completion?
As you were concluding there, just an invitation to be curious, to remain curious. I know for myself, right or wrong, these are unscripted mornings, on Sunday mornings. So far, unscripted, though the way Amanda shows up feels very dialed in to me. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Except for the weird echo that keeps happening on YouTube, but
we'll figure it out one day at a time. But just invite you to remain curious. I've just full presence with you that I've had some really challenging times in life, and And at times, the only thing I had was prayer. I felt like I was dangling, and I appreciate you presencing that. The question of faith, or where are these prayers landing? But just remain curious. Be on the lookout for how God, how Source is going to nudge you forward or invite you into to experience the mystical or the divine, and have your mind and thought elevated. I feel like there's just a lot happening in the world right now where there seems like there's a divergence of people. Not to sound, it's not my intention to sound judgmental, but it seems like some people are lulled and kind of asleep at the wheel, and other people are finding this season of life to be a time of great awakening and exploration, and so I just invite you to remain curious on the journey. And thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, and I realized I didn't introduce myself or Matthew. I'm Amanda Eloesh, the president of Living Wisdom Church, and Matthew is our director of communications and membership. And we both have quite a history of working with prayer, and we pray together in community. Even through the pandemic, we're bringing small groups together to pray, and praying with medicine. And at the completion of those ceremonies, the medicine says, once you make the prayer, it's not your obligation to go out and then try to figure out how to make that prayer happen, because you did the best that you could, and then you came and asked for help. And once you ask for help, you invite that in, then your only responsibility is to stay open and receptive and curious about how that help is showing up. And sometimes when things are not aligned in our life and they are painful, and sometimes the way through isn't just that they all of a sudden work out. Sometimes relationships come to completion. Sometimes a project that we're working on needs to be put down. Sometimes things fall apart. And when we make the prayer and we're really truly asking for help and curious about something beyond our own limited ability to move forward in a good way, things can fall apart because they need to, because we set up something that's not able to hold the vastness of our prayer. And so it may show up in ways that are challenging and a little concerning. And that's why it's really great to be in community and to have support, to be supported through the transformation that we prayed for. Didn't maybe even know we prayed for it, because our imagination of how things get resolved is, again, very different than the way that Source shows up to help us. And I can bear my testimony to that. There have been quite a few things that I've made prayers for that have fallen apart, and it's because they needed to be dissolved, and it was time for something new to be born. And moving forward in a prayerful way has always led to something better. And so that's why it's important to me to bring this experience to those who at least want to try it out. So thank you for being here and trying it out. We appreciate you showing up and adding to our woven prayers. And we're going to be here hopefully every Sunday at 9 a.m. If you'd like to join us live on Zoom, or broadcasting over from Zoom. And if you would like to be a part of the live prayer collective and come on and share your voice, share what's weighing heavy on your heart, and to receive real-time support from us, we would welcome that. We have a Patreon page. It's /living wisdom. And you can become a member for $4.44 a month. And there's all kinds of other resources on there. There's a guided meditation that's actually free to everyone. If you hop on over there, it's Emerging Through Crisis. And guided meditation is very similar to prayer. We open ourselves up to the imaginal realm, the imagination, and new possibilities are offered in those guided meditations, which can help really activate, expand our consciousness, expand the possibility in our creativity, give us greater access to our own inner wisdom. So that is a free gift for you on our Patreon page. And there are other free gifts, and there are other really amazing resources that are worth much more than the monthly contribution that we ask. So check it out, see what's there for you. And again, this is free to everyone via YouTube. We welcome you to subscribe. You can sign up for notifications to be reminded of this Sunday morning. We're here Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific. And we hope to connect with you again soon. And until next time.